This week's Piltch Point with Avram Piltch is proudly powered by PureVPN. Protect your browsing online because we all know that even incognito mode doesn't do what we all wish that it would do. With PureVPN, you have the ability to kind of obfuscate your browsing history and your browsing patterns from Facebook, Google, and your ISP, making what you do online more private. And of course, with services like these, you also have the ability to pretend you're somewhere else. So for us, when we were at Collision in Toronto, we were unable to watch some of our shows on services that we pay for. With a service like PureVPN, we could say that we were still in Florida and still get access to our stuff. So all fantastic. And right now, there are some deals on the service. You can get 2 years of service for $2.88, which per month, which is a great deal. It's way less than most other services, and you can find out more about it by going to piltchpoint.live/purevpn. Oh my goodness. So at the beginning of F5 Live, we saw where you were on one of the projects that you've been working on, but I think you got something else to show us, right?
Yes. So let's see how easy this is to show on the air. So Lego sent me their newest product, Lego Hidden Side, and this is a very cool augmented reality game slash set. So, or set of sets. It's just like there's Ninjago and Nexo Knights and all those things that are Lego branded characters and stories. There's a new one out, and it is called Lego Hidden Side. So the story of Lego Hidden Side is that there are these two high school students in this town called Newberry. I think what's the name of the guy? They're not very prominent about the names. The boy and the girl, and I'll have their names right in my full review. And they are hunting ghosts because their town is haunted, and they have like a scientist, JB, who helps them, and what you do is you build the set. So here I've got. Let me see if I can do this without breaking it. Behind me. Try to do this without breaking it. What are the chances? Okay. So here I've got the graveyard set.
Okay.
So this is the graveyard set. This is a $30 set. I also have, there are I think 8 sets. There's also a high school set that's really huge, which my son and I built, but I can't carry it around easily as pieces of it keep falling off. So what this does is, so first of all, it's a cool Lego set. It comes with a bunch of minifigs. You can play with it. But the real goal is, so you fire up the app on your phone, and it tells you, and hit start. So now it's showing me, hey, I want to find that, I want to see this. Once I turn around and I point at it, it's going to, it's got to be played in portrait mode. It definitely wants portrait mode. So
that's interesting.
I got to try and line it up. And if I messed up, if anything fell off of the build, then I have problems. Oh, here, I found it. Okay, so I found it, and I want you to see, if you can see on here,
oh yeah,
that not only does it now have the thing, but it's created an entire background behind it of like what it's like with rain and all kinds of stuff. And it says object clear the gloom, right? Probably upset because it doesn't see it anymore. So anyway, let's turn it. So what I got to do now is I've got to scan this little thing here, and it says like red spectrum, and you got to find all the all the things in the red spectrum and pick them up. Then it tells you, okay, to see a different spectrums. There's red, blue, yellow. You turn this little dial. All the sets have a color dial, and there's a blue square over here, and I scan that, and now it's showing me everything in the blue zone,
Oh, cool.
which are all these little blue, and like it looks like the tree. I don't know if you can see here. It looks like the tree that's on it is actually moving,
Yeah.
and all that, even though in real life it isn't. And wait till I get to the part where there's a ghost. So there's a part where there's a ghost. There are parts where there are ghosts, and you gotta kill the ghosts. Holding it, should be holding the phone in portrait mode. It's definitely in the portrait mode. So you pick up this stuff called gloom, which is like this glowing stuff, and it will give you points that you can redeem for stuff. There are no in-app purchases, by the way.
Okay.
So I do this, and then so this one says Grandma Winnie is the name of this ghost. It's coming after me, and I gotta like shoot at her, right? I gotta shoot at her. Now you are not one of the kids. You're actually someone who's helping the kids, I guess. But your like laser gun overheats or something, and you gotta get her before she like depletes your battery, I guess is what it says.
Okay.
So, and she can like run through the door, in and out of the door in the graveyard. And what was really cool in the high school is you can go behind the high school. So like, this I think will work too. You won't be able to see from over here, but if I hold my phone and I just like go, I can go all the way over, and it keeps following me, and it keeps getting closer and closer, right? And even to the point where the trees that are behind it, that are appearing behind it, I'm getting closer to. So it is really good quality AR. And Ghost is going to kill me. You can see her though. You can see her attacking.
Oh.
Hey, stop. So what happens? It says overheat. So you collect these ghosts once you've actually beaten them, if they haven't killed you, which this one just did to me. And then, so you collect, whoops, I'll quit this so you can just see the menus. So this has an app, by the way, for both. So you get to decide whether you want to be a hunter or a ghost. You can actually play as a ghost. And if you play as a ghost, you actually can do that without a set. The app is free. So here are all the ghosts that I've collected through playing. And you collect them all. In that respect, it's like Pokemon Go, except, you don't go anywhere. It's in your house. And then if you're a hunter, which is like the main thing people are going to do, it shows you this map of Newberry. And these are all the different sets you can get. And you tap on the set you have, and then it makes you scan it. There's also one here where you just scan a minifigure, and you can like fight the ghost that's in the minifigure. Because some of the minifigures that come are like people in the town who are possessed, and you have to like help them by fighting the ghost. Anyway, technologically speaking, it's just very impressive AR. It's just very, very impressive AR that LEGO has done to not only do a really good job of detecting the sets. Last year, I tried a set. LEGO had sent me an Ninjago set. It used a different technology. That one used was for iOS only, and it used ARKit, Apple's ARKit technology, and that was terrible. It didn't work very well at all. Like it didn't work on most surfaces I tried it on. It was constantly losing the frame and making me rescan the set. And it didn't do anything to change the background. So it was really a gimmick. It wasn't a very good game. It's like, okay, look, you can see these ninjas walking around the castle, but this, like, it creates a huge amount of virtual stuff around your real stuff. One could sort of argue that you almost don't need the Lego set at all, except that it makes you have the Lego set to do it.
Right.
But although I have to say, there are parts where it actually asks you to open a door on your set, or turn something or turn that color wheel on your set. So there is a physical element to the play.
Sure.
there definitely is a physical element to the play that you can't just use your phone without reaching and touching the set ever. Um, but and they're good Lego sets, except there's one thing I gotta say. Like all Legos, they fall apart. So when you've got a high school that costs $130 and takes like 7 hours to build, and it's really fragile, and like half the high school fell down like twice, um, and you can't play the game unless you fix it because it won't scan now. Uh, that's a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get around that if you're Lego. If you're a person, if you're someone who has it, the way you get around this is don't let anybody, don't let any kids touch your Legos, which is sort of counterintuitive.
Uh-huh.
Don't let anyone breathe on them. Don't use a fan or a hair dryer near them. I don't know. And put them on a table somewhere where no one will walk into them, because as soon as they break apart, you can't play the game. You can't play the game anymore. You can't play that level of the game anymore.
Right.
I should say. This definitely made me want to. Those who've seen the Lego Movie know what I'm saying when it made me want to take out the Craggle, um, the crazy glue, and glue it together so it wouldn't fall apart, because they do fall apart fairly easily, particularly if you try to move them anywhere, or you just touch them a little bit too hard, and so um, and then you can't play the game. So that, but the story is really fascinating. What's unfortunate is that I guess because they just came out with it, Lego did not has not done a lot to develop the story yet. Like the app doesn't tell you anything about the story really, except to say there are ghosts in town. Help me catch them.
Gotcha.
There's a little bit of a cartoon short that's on YouTube that tells you a little bit about the story, but not much. I feel like this would make a great cartoon. I hope that they have the confidence in the intellectual property to like do more with it, because it seems like it's a fun story. The aesthetic of it really reminds me of old Encyclopedia Brown
Ooh.
and Nancy Drew stories. That goes way back. So it's a really neat aesthetic. Um, there's even good music in the app. So really, I recommend it. Like, check out. We'll have a full review with more details shortly once I can get pictures of everything with it not being fallen apart. But it's Lego Hidden Side. They've got 8 different sets. I think it's 8, maybe more. That's the graveyard set that costs $30. I also have the high school set, which is awesome. It looks like a giant like high school. It has stuff on both sides and lots of rooms and stuff. But the problem is, do not let your kid actually play with it as a toy, because 10 pieces of it will fall apart, and then you may have trouble playing with it as a video game. But they are the AR on this is really impressive, and so is the potential story. So really, kudos to Lego for getting this right, and especially compared to, I don't know if I brought it. I think I may have brought it on the show last year. The Lego Ninjago Playgrounds one that they had, which was very underwhelming.
I am on the website right now, and I am looking at the high school set, and yeah, it's a pretty intense Lego set right there.
I mean, it's a beautiful Lego set. If you are not interested in using it for the video game and just want to like play with it or display it or whatever, it's a really nice set. The school sort of looks like it has these like claws that come out of it and these eyes that come out. It's a haunted high school. Is really really impressive looking set.
Yeah, so
Anyway, good stuff. Recommend it. Lego Hidden Side.
very cool. And you said we're gonna see a full review on the site.
Yes, yes. Full review on the site. Spoiler: I like it a lot, but be careful with it because it's fragile. That's the that's that's the that's the short of it.
Gotcha. And obviously that is the warning for most, if not all, Lego sets is be careful, it's fragile. So
Yes, yes. I mean that could be said about a lot of things. I mean, I think Lego Technics, the one where it has more of the circular snap together, is a little bit more durable, but that's really only for vehicles. Yes, it's true that almost every Lego set that I ever get with my son is good for about, and we love Legos a lot.
hmm
Like, we really, really love Legos here. So don't take this as like a down on Lego thing. Whatever we get, we put it together, and almost within a day, he finds some way of destroying it, and it turns back into a pile of bricks, no matter how specialized it was. So many hours spent like building a Lego AT-AT that now you can just find pieces of the leg somewhere. So, you know, what you really need to appreciate this stuff is you need a basement the size of the one Lego movie with a giant table
Uh-huh.
for putting all this out. Um, but in this case, my son didn't even try to to take these things apart. They just were kind of fragile from just regular use. But yes, just be very careful with your Legos. That's all there is to say. But it's really cool.
Well, cool, Abram. Obviously, I always love to see the things that you're working on for Tom's Hardware, and you really do get to work on some fun stuff lately. So it's
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we enjoy getting in, especially the cool toys like this, to show and tell the cool things people want. I'm hoping in a few weeks that they will send me the new the new robot kit that they have, the droid, the one that lets you build 3 different droids.
oh,
So I'm hoping they're going to send me that. I think that's due out end of August, beginning September, and I'll be able to bring that on the show.
very cool. Well, I look forward to that. Everybody involved is a Lego fan, so does I definitely look forward to it, and obviously look forward to seeing the review.